All right, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us. We have today, for this investor presentation for Golden Dragon Mining, the Managing Director, Mr. Simon Buswell-Smith, who's going to cover off a little bit on what's been happening since the stock has come to the ASX and listed after a successful raising, and a little bit about this drilling program that's coming up at Q as well, at Kudati. So we're looking forward to getting into it, and we'll have some questions at the end of it. I'll hand it over to you now, Simon.
Lovely. Thanks for that intro, Pete. Yeah, it's been exciting times for us. Golden Dragon Mining have just recently listed on the ASX, and yeah, this is our first presentation since listing, and you can find it on our on the ASX. But I'll run through it, and it's exciting times for us, and I hope you can. I hope my enthusiasm comes through. So, just the disclaimer. So, what's happened recently? Yes, we just listed on the ASX in late October, and from that, it just sets up a great platform for us in the Q district in Western Australia. So we're in the right address, and we've got large land holding and drill-ready targets. So we're ready to hit the ground running, and I'll show you some of our drill-ready targets in this presentation. So why do we like the Q area so much? Well, it's in Western Australia, which is just renowned for gold exploration and mining in general. So we're in a very safe jurisdiction. We've got a very large land holding, and we're along strike from very million-ounce deposits such as Big Bell. So we think we've got the right address, the right project, and the right people to drive it. That's the corporate snapshot. So very cheap in my opinion. So we've got cash. We just recently raised 5 million, and then we've got an enterprise value sitting at about 4.36. So we're ready to go. We're ready to hit the ground. We've got money in the bank, and then we've also got this great project and ready to explore it. So we're ready to go. And I think with that sort of market cap there, we're very undervalued. Once hopefully we find a big discovery, we'll definitely get a re-rate. So there's the board, Rod, the chair, myself as managing director, and then we have Sam and Frank also. So yeah, a great team, a well-rounded team. Rod and myself are both geologists, and then Frank and Sam bring in the business and corporate side very strongly. I won't dwell on the gold price at all, but yes, it has skyrocketed. But what I would say is, this is about when we acquired the Q project, right in this end of the stable period. So I don't think we'd be able to pick that project up in this current market. And I'll show you why. So Q project is in Western Australia. There's 35 million ounces that have been extracted out of the Murchison, and we're about 670 k's away from Perth. And but what I would stress again is we're incredibly large land holding, 600 square kilometres of tenure to explore. And I'll show you that in a little bit more detail now. So why do I like the area so much? Well, it's just a well-known gold province, and we've got billion dollar market cap neighbours. So we've got who we've got here. We've got the Durungra, which used to be Spartan. That's why I get a little bit confused. But now that's Remulus there. And then we've also got Westgold as a direct neighbour. So these guys have just come in strongly with M&As, and it's tightening up in the Murchison now. We've also got some smaller players there with Odyssey and Great Boulder as well as great neighbours. So we think we're in the right address there, and we're all in the greenstones and are directly along strike from the Big Bell deposit. So very exciting times, and great address basically. So this is a zoomed in with the total magnetics of our tenure, and with the historic database with maximum gold displayed, the magentas +1. So what that's sort of demonstrating, hopefully, is that there's historic drilling that's been reasonably successful. And what I mean by reasonably, it was shallow, so they haven't really given it a good go. And we're in that position where we've got money in the bank, and we really want to start aggressively exploring this large tenement package. One of our key target areas is along strike from Big Bell. So you've got Big Bell North, the Barren Bore area also, and the Stockyard East and West area, and Jeffreys Well right up there right on the edge of our tenement up there. But what it's hopefully demonstrating this image is showing that we've got these large deep-seated structures that are these shear zones that are tracing all the way through our tenure. And then not only that, there's anomalous gold sitting at these intersections and these splays along this large deep-seated shear. And then the Kundawarra shear also comes up through there as well. And you've got multiple splays, and they're our main target areas, and they're our advanced target areas that which we are going to explore. And we've got our recent, we're just about to go get boots on the ground and explore at one of those targets, which I'll go into detail a bit more, but which is within this Barren Bore area. And we call that Kudati. So this is that zoomed in area. So you've got Barren Bore there, Kudati, Piston, and Curtis Fine. So you've got multiple areas with gold anomalism on kilometre scale. So that's why we like this area so much. You've got multiple walk-up drill targets, but where we're focusing on this small little RC program, we're planning to do 2,000 metres just to kick off right in this Kudati area. And then once we have the results from those, from that drilling, we'll extend further to the north and south, and then look further afield with a air core program and further RC. So we've just recently completed a heritage survey over this large area. So that's really opening up the door for us to explore this area in a methodical approach. And not only that, it should be noted that these tenements M20327 and M20455 were owned by other owners. Historically, Victory Metals was the more recent owner, but they didn't own the surrounding tenure, the 1071, the larger exploration license. So it's a remarkable acquisition for us, because now we've got the whole tenement package collectively, so we can explore along strike of these known mineralisations, which no one else has been able to do before in recent times. So this is some of the great intersections that Victory Metals had achieved at Kudati, but they ran out of space basically. So that this blurred out section is around that tenement is basically just showing the postage stamp that Victory Metals owned. It's only 300 metre strike length tenement, but now we've got that tenement and the strike extent of that. So you can see that they've had really good success with 12 at 5.4 and what else would be 8 at 7.7. So that they're getting shallow gold anomalism in the oxide, and we plan to follow up on that drilling. So another area which we're still waiting for the grant of this tenement, but once we get grant on this tenement, this will be another walk-up drill target, is Stockyard East. And again, we've got kilometre scale gold anomalism, and then also in this case we've got gold mineralisation in the fresh rock, which from a geological perspective is another positive tick. It shows that there's the source of the gold is right underneath this gold anomalism. And again, we'll plan to explore that probably in 2026 once the tenement is granted. And then the Big Bell shear zone, Big Bell North. So right down here, Big Bell, West Gold, there's about 5 million ounces, 5 million, I must stress, sitting there once you include previous production and resources. I've got a 10-year mine life down there at Big Bell, and we're only about 16 kilometres along strike from there. Evolution JV'd with Enterprise Metals on our ground in about 2019, and they did some nice diamond drilling and some great result, air core and diamond drilling. And as you can see, they've intersected the Big Bell shear zone. So from a geological perspective, this is a really interesting area to further follow up on Evolution's work. Why? Because they're hitting the shear zone, the same shear zone, the Big Bell shear zone. They're getting the same alteration sequence and also the same pathfinder sequence. So tungsten and antimony are big ones that are found in Big Bell, and we're also finding that along the Big Bell shear in Big Bell North. So another area that we are very excited to explore as well. So use of funds, hopefully I've explained what we're going to do with the funds in straight away and a bit into 2026. But yeah, basically it's targeting the Kudati lode initially, and then some deep drilling at the Curtis and Piston areas, which is in that larger Barren Bore area, and also the Stockyard East and the Big Bell North are walk-up drill targets that we want to sort of further explore as well in the 2026. So we think we're well poised to not only hopefully define our maiden resource, that's our main game in the Barren Bore area, but then also we're also looking further afield for larger million-ounce deposits as well. So yeah, sorry, Pete. Yeah, so that was a brief rundown there. Hopefully I wasn't too quick, but yeah, that's a bit of a rundown of our tenement package. I like leaving on this image here because it sort of shows all of our current advanced drill targets, but just shows you the Big Bell shear trucking all the way through our tenement and all these areas that are just really exciting to explore.
Thanks, Simon. It's some good points there, and it occurred to me as we were watching this that it's a small market cap company, but we've got massive coverage, 600 square kilometres, and some of these targets in these zones, 700 metres, kilometre strike zones, we're really talking about big company targets, and we're just a fraction of that. So there's potential for some massive impact from success at these zones. They're not just small targets we're looking at; they're potentially quite large.
Yeah, I totally agree. It was it didn't take me too long to do my due diligence on the project, and what I say by that, it just looked so exciting. And then the more I dug, the more I found, basically. So it's incredibly the amount of advanced targets that we've got. A junior explorer just would be really I'd struggle. I challenge you, sorry, to find a better junior explorer that's got such great prospective ground. So hopefully we can get some runs on the board and really turn some of these advanced targets into resources. That's the plan. So yeah, it's exciting times. Yeah.
I'd like to expand a little bit more on Kudati. 700 metres of strike that you've got identified there. How is it identified? Is it through some previous drilling? Is it surface sampling? What is it gives you the confidence that you've got potentially 700 metres of strike here to test?
Yeah, so this is that small M there, but we've got the whole ground. That's what I can't stress enough. We've got the whole tenement package now, and so Victory did very well at defining their mineralisation within their tenement, but they were hamstrung. So now we've got this 700 metre strike length there of gold anomalism, and you can see where it's been supported by. It's shallow drilling. So you've got 5 at 1.3 and what else have we got? 2 at 3.5 and 6 at 1. So you've got this, but what's important is it's shallow. It's very shallow, so it's very amenable to open pit environment, and that's another thing I'd like to stress. There's no historic open pits or anything like that, but there is historic old timers workings and dry blowing. So we know there's gold there, but it hasn't had previous mining, which is really exciting. Modern day mining, I should say. So all of these shallow intersections that you can see on that slide, are very amenable to open pit development if we can get that continuity, which is our main aim. Yeah.
And so 2,000 metres of drilling, reasonably shallow, means you probably get a good number of holes in the ground, but amazingly, quite enough information from just the 2,000 metres to actually pull a resource together. Yeah,
so it's early days, obviously, with the word resource, but what Victory had demonstrated is that they're getting that shallow mineralization, and that they've got that continuity on their section. So we're coming in on those and then really sort of trying to prove up and the drill spacing there. And what that should demonstrate is hopefully continuity, excuse me. And then once we've got that known continuity, then we will look further along strike, and that's when you'll start seeing the hopefully a resource growing to a point where it's at that critical point where it starts becoming economic. But that's just at the Kudari area, so we don't want to be just constrained to that one area. Obviously, you can see on that slide you've got Piston and Bear Bore itself and Curtis Fine. They just haven't had any modern day drilling on them. Victory Metals is like they were just like I said, hamstrung on that small M there. So yeah, it's all of this drilling that you see, other than the more recent drilling at Victory, is 1990s to 2000 era. So there's just been this big gap in drilling. So the gold price, as everyone knows, has skyrocketed since then. So things that were sub-economic 20, 25 years ago are definitely more economic now. So if we can string all this together and get continuity, there's good opportunity for open pit or even camp scale sort of environment there, because you've got multiple areas of gold anomalies. And so hopefully if we can string it all together, it'll be, but it's very exciting. Yeah, it's a great place to explore.
And Simon, what's your sort of average depth you think you'll be getting down to with each of these drills?
This program, the mineralization that Victory have discovered is very shallow. It's in that 40-meter realm, so it's in that supergene oxide area, and we'll drill through that and past that to try and find the source of that mineralization as well. But yeah, it's still shallow. It's still only a sub 120 meters, and 80 to 120 meters is the drill plan design at this stage, because we think there's just great opportunity to define that shallow mineralization and get continuity of that first, and then we'll sneak a few deep holes in here and there just to try and find if we can find the source of all that supergene.
Yeah, love those deep holes every now and again. You can snag something, and that would be interesting. You and Chairman Rod were out there recently and found some old samples on the surface. And while you were mapping out where you're going to put these holes, what did you find out there that the previous drillers had left behind?
Yeah, it's ticking all the right boxes. So if you look at the historic drill hole and it's all just one boring rock, a basalt or a sediment or something, you sort of get a little bit discouraged. But yeah, the drilling showed that you're getting multiple lithological sequence through there, and even some sulfides and quartz veining. So it's got all those hallmarks of what you like to see when you're out there, for sure.
And look, the one question I thought I wanted to raise with you and to have a bit of a chat about, we talked about the shear zone mineralization that hosts Big Bell and Bluebird and some of the other million-ounce operations out there. And yes, not everybody's familiar with the shear zone and why it's a great place to find gold. Can you perhaps give us a bit of a 101 on why shears are great places and how our targets, or the Golden Dragon targets, fit along this shear and why it's prospective? Yeah,
sure. I'll go back to that more regional slide there. So yeah, what that demonstrates is obviously you've got Big Bell sitting right there, and why is it sitting there? It's on that shear zone. So what is a shear zone? I guess it's just a squashed up rocks, and then and that allows a conduit for fluids to flow through. So it's sort of like a super highway of where the mineralization and fluid flow will go along, and it's these deep mantle tapping ones, the ones that go further down to quite far down into the Earth's crust that generally hosts more fluid flow. And then so it's a great place to explore along these shear zones. And then quite often you'll just have a little jog or a little splay or a structure shooting off, and that forms the trap of all that fluid flow. So it's the secondary structures and the along the shear zones that gold geologists really look for, excuse me, and then that's why our ground is so exciting, because we've got the Big Bell shear zone trucking all the way through our tenure, and it might be going up here, but then there's these splays as well that are also exciting. And it's proven already that the gold is hosted within those shear zones, because all of this historic drilling, the gold's so proximal to those shear zones. And I should stress that this interpretation of this shear zone isn't mine. It's GSWA. It's a government-based interpretation, so it's readily available. So it's pretty well known that these shear zones are great target areas. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty good, and as you said, it's proven mineralized shear zone, and very well proven. There's multiple operations and deposits along there, so it's very exciting. Yeah. When will these drill rigs start spinning, Simon?
Yeah, so logistics is always one of those things, but no, we're almost at the point here now. So hopefully this time next week, I should be out there having a good look with the crew, and yeah, putting a few holes in the ground. It'd be great.
Fantastic. And then what the length of the program, and you know, when do you think you'll complete this one?
Yeah, so like I said earlier, it's only a short, sharp program. It's just to really get confirm and get continuity of mineralisation at Kudati. So it's only a few week program at this stage, but what that does allow is we'll be able to get those assay results turned around pretty quickly, and then yeah, in the new year, hopefully there'll be early or a late Christmas present, or yeah, however you want to say it. But yeah, we should be getting results in the early new year, and see where we go from there. Yeah, and
hopefully some interest from Ramelius and Westgold if they're looking good too. So they'll be as keen as we will be as shareholders to see how it goes.
Yeah, like I said, it's early days. It's only at this stage it's a small program, but what we're sort of pending on is we've just, like I said, completed that large heritage survey. So that just opens up the tenure now. Once we get all the findings from there, there'll be lots of areas for us to explore that I'm really looking forward to getting on the ground in 2026 for.
Great stuff, Simon. On behalf of everybody watching, I'm sure they wish you all the best of luck out there in the desert when you get out there. We look forward to some great photographs as well. Thanks for walking us through the program and the opportunity with Golden Dragon Mining, and we look forward to hearing from you again soon.
Thanks, Peter. No, thanks for listening.